shit.
I don't know.
I don't know shit.
Cole
here.
Go ask preacher man.
Little American marriage counseling. Is there any chance, in this red versus blue ideological war we're fighting, that I'm not fighting, I'm trying to unify, but y'all seem awfully intent on making things worse. Is there a chance that, all of us are like a little right and a little wrong? Right? I mean, we're right and you're wrong. No, we're right and you're wrong. I mean, there's probably more statistically odds of like we're all a little right and a little wrong. Right? So could we just start there? And then, let's think about, it's all about like we're doing it perfect and this is the way forward and they're the bad guy, right? And I think I have this philosophy that how I build internal trust with myself and how I can become a better person and how I also build trust with others and their spiritual journeys is if you can admit the ways in the past you were a bad person or you operated less than you would have liked. And that helps you become a good person, right? Because if you don't look at the mistakes you've made, honestly, you can't grow into a better person. And if you act like everything you did was perfect, that's the other side. You also don't want to be all guilt and shamed all the time, like, I messed up. Like, you got to grow, but you got to acknowledge it, right? And so we as a country need to do that, right? And I'm on neither party's team. I'm pragmatic party, but the whole Trump thing and rallying behind him like a cult, it's like, these are all facts that are in legal documents and on camera and on voice messages and like very clear things. Like it's not a political or debatable thing. And when he goes, I did everything perfect. You're always perfect. It's always perfect. It's like when there's all this documentation, it's like, that's clinical, man. Like you got like, dude, I am a good dude, but like I've not been a good dude at times. Like I've made mistakes all the fucking time. Like if you can't say that at all, like something's fucking off. And then that mass psychosis is hurting our country to the point where we're almost fighting our fellow man over one man's lie over an election he mathematically lost. That's the start of authoritarianism, disinformation. And then the US government puts out declassified intel that Russia has been putting propaganda into our country through, spies, diplomats, and bought figures also circling this orbit. And you can see how things are not healthy, right? And you got Ukraine going on with Russia, and then now you got the Republican Party talking about we're going to unilaterally use the military in Mexico. You don't see how that could be a terrible idea? That would then make Mexico like Ukraine next to us. And then you don't think our enemies would want to give them weapons? I mean, it could get all ugly, man. Quit with all the war and shit. Like, you're like, oh, no more foreign wars, America first. So instead of fighting in Ukraine, we'll fight Mexico. That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. You got to do it in partnership. Everything in life has to be in partnership. Nobody deserves to do anything unilaterally. That's why we don't like authoritarianism. That's the whole point. We're democracy. So you can't say, I don't like the way the vote went and I want my guy to be an authoritarian. That's counter to the whole idea. We got to redefine what's an American anymore. Like, this American values, like you hate America because you were against the racism of the past. No, it's people are against the racism of the past. That's not America. To me, America is individualism, community combined in a united mission for innovation, freedom, truth, human rights, equality, a moldable clay that is never going to be perfect, but we always move it towards perfect because we all have an equal vote in it. And we try to use the lessons of the founding fathers and Greek style Athens democracy of the people coming to the right answer, and that there's not power dynamics or fear. It's based on truth and reason, and you can do anything you want here from nothing to something, and you have freedom of speech, the most powerful thing we have here, where I couldn't even be my career in another country. In China, Russia, I'd go missing. Here I can say whatever I gotta say, and you can actually, you guys can, all this talking shit on your own country or your own fellow man, like that's part of what makes us awesome. Like that is why we're dope, that we can even do this shit. But like to get it to where you're talking political violence and hating your fellow man, that's too far. You're missing the whole damn point. And I think we got to redefine what's this idea of traditional American. There's no the thing that makes us traditional is we're a-traditional. We have people from all over the world. We're like the bar in Star Wars with all the weird aliens who hang out together. You know, many countries are fairly homogeneous, and we have every race, creed, you name it, and that makes it complicated because we got to talk with more diverse people. But that's also what's going to make us more powerful and strong and informed and educated and more spliced genetics and antibodies to disease. I mean, it's going to make us stronger in the long run. I think that's like science and math and shit, I think. But what do I know? I do listen to experts. So I'm a philosopher, thinker, comedian. Like, I don't fucking know. Ask the experts on that part. But again, there's another thing that's going weird in America. You got presidential candidates, DeSantis go, just like with COVID, I'll never listen to the experts. It's like, well, you could debate if the person's an expert or not, right? Like, you could say that person's not an expert, so I'm not listening to him. But like, the definition of an expert is they're an expert. They know more than you about it. So like, I'm anti-elitism, I'm anti-authority, but like anti-expert, that's stupid. It's mathematically stupid. Like, if that person's the expert, like, talk to the expert. Like, that's what being a leader is. Like, no, I don't listen to the experts. I listen to Billy on Facebook. He doesn't know shit about that subject. It's like, well, then why do you listen to Billy? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like pro-stupid, And like this idea of being a traditional American, be a traditional American and go watch baseball and drink Budweiser that's owned by a European country, and most of the league's Dominican now. It's like, what is our culture? What is our culture? I wouldn't say it's any of these cliche things. It's our freedom of speech. It's our ability to debate. It's about everything I said. It's not about these cliche branding things. Oh, we're a white Christian nation. Dude, Jesus has never been here once. Not a single time. He's the man. I made a whole movie about the dude. But he's not been here a single time. And none of the names in the Bible sound even remotely American. We are an amalgamation of all cultures. That's what we are. You can't say we're a Christian nation. We left, the founding fathers and everybody came over here from England to have religious freedom and tolerance. And you're flipping it on its head to make it seem that like, it's just all messed up, man. And I feel a little licensed to say this shit because I'm from Philadelphia, where we invented this bitch. Okay? I think it's in my genetics, for whatever that is, but now I'm just kind of fucking around. I don't know. I just want us to love each other. I want us to stop being so stupid. I want us to stop fighting each other. This idea of righteous violence and political violence and I'm so right I can do wrong in the name of is gonna get us all in a really tough pickle, man. I think we got to try to relate, admit where we are wrong, see where the other side might be right, and kind of compare notes and put some compromise plans together to affect things forward better. And certainly don't go to internal violence because of one man's own karma. He literally won by a couple factors. Build a wall, anti-immigration and race sentiment, and lock her up. I mean, you don't see the karma in that this is how this played out, and his were all documented, and then now they just got new boogeymans. Now it's trans and this and the third. Dude, there's like way bigger issues in the world going on. The main reason why we are dysfunctioning has nothing to do with any of these culture fights. None of this culture war, identity politics thing. It's the economy, stupid. There's not enough food and housing to go around. There's not enough money. The inflation, housing costs, the minimum wage can't even afford the minimum rent in some areas. Capitalism is fragmenting because for the past 50 years, corporate and Republican interests have believed in the faith of trickle-down economics and globalism. And they outsourced everything to China and elsewhere and made a ton of fucking money with tax cuts and all this, and didn't invest in our own communities. And so the Great Recession happens, all the housing gets foreclosed on, and then they go buy it all up. And then 10 years later, jack it all up on us all. And that same party and those same interests now are acting like they're populist and they're for the little guy. And it's all the race's fault and the trans fault. It's like, dude, don't fall for the game no more, man. It was your party who did all this rugged individualist, capitalist, globalism shit. You can't say you're anti-globalist now out of nowhere when your party for 50 years did it. Pick one way. Why did you empower China for so long and make them rich only that they now want to turn it against them in trade war? That doesn't make sense. Either don't do that in the beginning or work with them still to find a win-win now. Like, you made them powerful only to compete with them now? It doesn't, it's infuriating. We got to be honest about where the issue is. The issue is income inequality. Like, there's so much assets that are stale and held in accounts upon accounts upon accounts that's not moving around, while the rest of us are fighting over scraps in the street like crabs in a bucket. And the fight shouldn't be red versus blue, race versus race, male versus woman. Shouldn't be religion versus religion, and it shouldn't even be class versus class. I truly believe it should be like, how do we fix this? Like, how do we fucking fix this? And we got to look at it right. And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm no expert, but those are my thoughts. Go listen to Billy. He probably knows more. Love y'all.
I don't know shit. Right now 76, thinking. I don't know shit. I don't know shit.